All right, everybody. Welcome back to our Tri-State Trends podcast. I got my man Tyler Saltzman with me, and he is not new to the game, but new to the success track that he's creating for himself, which is quite the ride right now as he's just come off his best week ever. And we're excited to get you in here, buddy, and talk to you about some of the things you've done to, kind of morph this thing in the direction of success. So how you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's 80 degrees out here. It's nice and sunny. It's a great day.
Well, you got the perfect disposition for this podcast. You're smiling, you're happy, you're ready to roll. Part of 5 Star Financial, working with David Starr out of Ohio. How's your ride been since you started with us, and how'd you find Family First Life?
Well, I actually, when I graduated college, I got a job in Cincinnati working supply chain. That was my major. And I didn't really think much about it, but I had a friend from high school that started finding a lot of success here, David Starr, and he had started to reach out to me after a little while, just kind of talking to me, just asking me how I'm doing, if I'm liking my job, if things are going well. And he just kind of reached out to me, and I got to know my buddy from high school a little bit more, and he started talking more about it, and it sounded like just a great option for me, something I really wanted to get into. So he talked me into part-time. That's how I got started.
I love it. The more and more I hear about the warm market stories where people are trying to help their friends, man, at the end of the day, like, how excited are you that he reached out to you?
It was really life-changing for me.
Wow.
I was in a good position. I had a good paying job, and I had a lot of room to grow. But in this opportunity, I have so much more. I have so much more I can accomplish here. I can make so much more money. I get to choose who I work with. I get to decide my hours. And that's just some things I didn't really have prior to this.
That's crazy. Now, your journey wasn't like up and to the right the whole time. You ain't been with us that long. But you were trying to figure it out. Can you talk to us a little about that journey of, kind of where you were living and moving over to Columbus to find, kind of the success you were hoping for?
Yeah, so I started, I was in Cincinnati. That's about an hour and a half away from Columbus. And he had been reaching out to me, telling me how well he's doing and how much he loves it. And I'm like, I just need to get my license and give it a shot. So I start working to get my license. And every day I get off work at 3:00. So I have the perfect opportunity for like a second job to make some extra cash.
No doubt.
So that was my whole mindset. So every day off work at 3:00, and then I hop on Zoom calls and I start like setting appointments or like trying to call people, trying to figure it out as I'm working on getting my license and everything. So I just wanted to talk to people and kind of get a little bit figured out. And then once I got my license, he was like, Tyler, just come down to Columbus or come up to Columbus and just work with me for a day. And I'd kind of been listening to him, figuring things out. So I knew how to like set appointments just by listening to him. And when I went up to Columbus, it was like the beginning of January. Like, I think I was there for, we watched the ball drop. So I was there to end the new year or to start the new year.
Got it.
And we had worked the day or the weekend of. And so Saturday or Friday, he had me setting appointments for myself on Saturday. And Saturday, I was reading from a piece of paper. I had everything laid out for me, just what I was supposed to say. And I do my first appointment, and the girl bought. And I was like, wow, she just needed it. Someone just needed mortgage protection. And I do my next appointment, and the guy was interested. He bought too. And my first two on my second day, it was crazy. That was when I realized like what I could do here. And I went back to work and put my 2 weeks in the next day. So I only worked part-time for a little bit, but put my 2 weeks in after I got that check. And I was like, wow, I can really make some money here.
Now, did you hear Dave's phone call and immediately go, sounds cool? Or were you very inquisitive, or were you reluctant?
I was so unsure. I was confused. How is that possible? He was showing me how much money he was making, and he was just sitting down with families and just talking to them and just setting his own schedule and figuring that out. Like, how do you make money doing this? It didn't make any sense to me. How are you making the money that you're telling me you're making? And it just was something I needed to see actually happen before I was bought in completely. I wanted to, I guess, know I could do it and know that it was possible. But once I figured that out, I was like, yeah, this is for me. This is what I need to do.
Wow. So then what did you start thinking about from an activity? Because it goes from like, aha, right? And then for people who are moving with your trajectory, there goes from an aha moment to practicality pretty fast, right? Like strategy, appointment, schedule, leads, like pretty quickly, right? Like how was that evolution for you, and how did you make that transition real?
Well, after I put my 2 weeks in, it was really easy. After 3 o'clock, I just work as hard as I could, and I get a few sales here and there. I think I helped 10 families my first month, and I was pretty proud of that because that was more than what I was making prior. That was enough money for me.
Yeah.
And he was helping me with leads, so I didn't have any big lead spend, and it was just simple. I make a few sales, and I was able to pay my bills and figure it out. And then he started giving me a little fresh, and I really loved that. So I started getting a few fresh, or locking down a few counties, and took a little while, but to start getting them rolling in. But now that's my favorite thing to run is the fresh. So started doing that, and the transition was a little bit tougher. I would come to Columbus every couple weeks, and when I would come, I would do really well. I loved being in the office and I loved working, but the problem was I have an apartment right now that I got to pay rent on, so I can't just pick up and leave. So the transition was a little tough, but after a couple months, I just realized I needed to get in that office. When I was in the office, I actually worked. There was no distractions. I wasn't sitting at home. I couldn't take time off. When I go to the office, I get stuff done.
Right.
So that's what led to me. I moved down here after a couple of months, and it's crazy. I started doing a little bit better. I started making more sales. I started diving in. I stopped taking time off just because I was home and I could. I started actually getting stuff done, and I'm just really enjoying what's going on right now, the way this is going. And I've been leveling up every week since.
That's amazing, man. I love it because, this is what we do, this smile you have on your face, the aha moments you've experienced in the last 4 or 5 months, the desire to want to grow to different heights this is what it's all about. So when you think about, your schedule and the fact that you're pretty much trying to do one call closes, get people on the phone and help them with the insurance that they requested right here and now. How do you view your schedule week to week? How many days are you actually working, and how many hours per day would you say you're putting in?
I started off doing 6 days a week, and 8 to 8, taking my lunch break. And we started that the first month I was here, and it began all right, and it was going well. But eventually, you just get burnt out. That's crazy. That's crazy to be doing that much. So we started to slow down a little bit. 8 to 11, 8 to 10-ish. That's the best time to be booking appointments. So I'll call them and I'll try to one call close. But if their wife's not there, or their husband's not there, or that's just a bad time, then I'll reschedule it for later. I know they'll be available later. So after like 11, then I hopefully have a good amount of appointments booked. And if not, I'll one call close later. But from 11 to 2, that's kind of the hardest time to get people on the phone and try to one call close. So go to the gym, cook some food, watch a couple videos, and just relax here and take some time to ourselves, because it's crazy to work from 8 to 9 or 8 to 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day. It's just something we tried, and it's something we can do every once in a while, but it's overwhelming. So we take a little break during the day, and then
what
after,
time is that break typically?
Usually either like 11:30 or 11 to maybe 2-ish.
Got it.
Just get our ducks in a row, make sure we're in the right mindset, make sure we're eating and we're being healthy, and then just attack the rest of the day. I'd rather have 8 6, 8 really great hours than 12 lackadaisical. I'm tired.
Makes sense.
I'm not doing the best I can here kind
Okay.
of hours.
Got it. And what does
Mhm.
that look back? What are the hours when you get back? Typically from when to when?
The hours we get back,
From your break.
oh, usually, I mean, we're dialing for sure at 3 o'clock.
3 to
So from 11:30 to maybe like 2,
Yep.
or maybe 3 o'clock. Just give us some time. But 3 o'clock we get back to it, and that's a great time to start one call closing. People are getting off work. People are able to get on the phone, and if we do get done a little bit earlier, I know I can call the older people right around that time as well, because they'll be there for the one call closes too. But hopefully from like 3 to 8, we've got appointments and I've got stuff to do. If I have a no show or I have a free moment, then I'll start one call closing.
Sure.
But I prefer one call closes, but I do also like to have stuff on my schedule. So I'm not getting towards the end of the day and I have nothing to do.
Perfect.
Or nothing like to keep me set on schedule.
I love it. What is the typical investment in leads that you're investing a week?
Yeah, this week I did, or these last couple of weeks, it's been about the same. I think I did. Sorry, I wrote it on a sticky note. I did 5,951. I spent on fresh for last month.
Wow.
1,580 I spent on Mailhouse. I kind of like the Mailhouse. I locked out a few counties there. It's something that you lock out and they send out like 300 or 500 flyers, and you get back whatever people call into.
Love it.
And then I gave Facebook a try, so I spent about 1,500. So so I spent 8,800 this last month. So I spent a lot. I think I'm just gonna mostly stick with Fresh and Mailhouse. Those are where I've been making most of my money. And the Facebook has been not doing so well. Not for me, at least.
Well, listen, man, you got to find your niche. Everyone has a different everyone has the successful people have the same approach, but they have spins and nuances that work for them. So whatever works for you, it works. It's working. I mean, your first week in August, you helped 9 families. You know, you're averaging 25 to 30 families a month. So your trajectory is going north. What do you typically, how many days a week are you typically working?
6, been doing 5 a little bit lately. So a little bit extra time for myself. An extra day I can spend with the family or just kind of relax. But I just make sure the days I am in the office, I'm working really hard.
What is the, do you have a presentation goal every single week as far as who you get to present to?
So that's something I've kind of been just trying to boost more. I've been doing like 15-ish the last couple of weeks. This week I want to at least hit 20. This week I want to present to at least 20 families, or a month. Sorry, no, yeah, a week. Sorry.
A week, yep, got it.
Yeah, so if I present to 20 families, I should be able to hit my goal of 10,000 for that month or that week. I want to present to 20, but one call closing has really helped me a lot. When I was trying to schedule appointments, there was no way I was going to be able to present to 20 people. I just couldn't get people to show up. But once I started one call closing, that's been working a lot better for me.
That's crazy.
Because there's no guarantee that they're going to be on the phone, even if you set a great appointment. I set an appointment with somebody yesterday. And said, I look forward to talking to you. They no-showed. So even those great appointments that you set, they're not set in stone. So that's why I've been transitioning more towards one call closes.
Okay, got it. So a nice hybrid of appointments and one call closes, trying to find your niche every day, get closer to what is going to help you be more successful. Listen, man, you're doing great things. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what you got going on right now, what the future looks like for you. What are your goals for the remainder of the year? How do you plan on wrapping up the most busy and most important time of the year?
Yeah, well, it's August right now. It's halfway through August, so we got September, October, November, December.
Yes, sir.
I know I'm gonna hit that Americo bonus. I'm really excited for. I got plenty of time. I wouldn't mind getting that up to 100K, hitting the 100K bonus, because that would be great. I know about to hit the 50, so I can at least get the 100K. So that's my goal for the Americo. I also just want to at least do 200 families this year. I had a really slow start, and I'm really starting to get the hang of it. If I end the year with 200 families, or at least 200 families, I'd be pretty happy there. So I think that's a pretty good goal for me. So I want to aim for 200 families and get that really nice America bonus.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tyler Saltzman, Tri-State Trending. Thank you for sharing with us, Tyler.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for listening, guys. This guy's going to continue to kill it. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you, buddy.